On the second day of my Cold War with Ryan, he paraded around with my best friend, their closeness nearly inseparable. Bystanders teased, Ryan, it being with Lara's best friend truly upsets her to tears, you'll face quite the ordeal. Ryan sneered, tears? I've given her enough respect before, she can leave whenever she wants, I'm fed up with her crying. Standing at the door, I heard everything clearly, scoffed inwardly, and tossed the reconciliation gift into the trash. Returning home, I demolished the newly prepared wedding room and left confidently. I could tolerate Ryan's antics, but never infidelity. I discarded both my fiancé and best friend. Later, Ryan sought me out, kneeling for forgiveness, but those who lose me do so permanently. Forgetting to prepare coffee for Ryan led to an argument, and that night, he stormed out in anger, never returning. Reluctantly, I initiated reconciliation since our wedding was days away. Ryan's temper had always been volatile, flaring over trivialities, convinced I didn't love him. I assumed his childhood insecurities required my indulgence, yet when he crossed my boundaries and angered me, he'd feign innocence to seek forgiveness. Such a tumultuous relationship endured for 4 years. Carrying a gift, I approached the private room, noticing a crack in the door, intending to enter, when voices emerged. Ryan, it being with Lara's best friend makes her cry, you're in for trouble. Ryan retorted disdainfully, cry? I've given her enough respect, she can go wherever she pleases, I'm tired of her tears. My breath caught as I peered through the crack, witnessing Ryan embracing my best friend Yvonne. Nearly kissing pain stabbed my eyes and constricted my heart, leaving me breathless. Ryan's friend exclaimed, Ryan's mighty, a true man's exemplar, and in his excitement, Ryan turned Yvonne's face, kissing her. Yvonne, engrossed in the kiss, suddenly locked eyes with me, stunned briefly. She then smirked provocatively. I inwardly scoffed, realizing my supposed best friend coveted my fiancé. Glancing at the gift in my hand, I turned and discarded it into a nearby trash bin. It had become a mockery. While I grieved over our rift, Ryan found solace elsewhere, indifferent to my feelings. My best friend's betrayal, conspiring with him, compounded the treachery. I sped home to the fully decorated wedding room, where my hand-cut double happiness symbol still adorned the door, gazing at the vivid red paper with a sardonic look. I called a demolition crew calmly, Master, can you demolish the house now? I'll pay extra. Dozens arrived. From the sofa, I directed precisely, smash all the walls, destroy all furniture, if the floor won't lift, cut it apart. They were astonished but complied. I aimed to obliterate not just the house but all gifts exchanged with Ryan, including the piano embodying our 4-year love, which I methodically smashed with a hammer. This villa, meticulously designed with all my effort, I reduced to ruins today. I could endure Ryan's caprices and recklessness, but not his infidelity. Ryan became tainted, and I reject tainted things. I watched the wedding room transform into rubble, paid the crew with a smile, bid them farewell, took a final glance at the wreckage, and drove away. With Ryan absent, I doubted he'd soon notice the wedding room's destruction. Driving, I posted on Facebook, apologies, dear friends and family, the wedding is cancelled due to Ryan's affair with Yvonne. After posting, I powered off my phone and drove to my own house in another city. Upon arriving home and turning on my phone, numerous messages inquired about the situation. Ironically, Yvonne liked my post, commenting, Lara, you've misunderstood, there's nothing between Ryan and me. My father, rarely calling, questioned, how can marriage be trivial? I cut him off, who wants a filthy man? If you like Ryan, grovel to him yourself. Victor choked, his face flushed with suppressed fury. Lara, how dare you speak to me like this? Your wings have grown, didn't you shamelessly pursue Ryan? His words left me uncharacteristically silent. Indeed, I pursued Ryan actively, even sabotaging Victor's arranged blind date, seeing Ryan's affluent family, Victor relented and even endorsed our union. Victor's tone soured. He only made a minor mistake, and you'd end it. Can't you be more forgiving? I sneered inwardly, recalling he'd said the same to my mother during his own infidelity. My mother, more decisive, discarded even me in her swift divorce, saying, "If you like cheaters, live with him." I mocked Victor similarly and hung up. 6 hours post-Facebook, I figured Ryan was oblivious, perhaps still asleep somewhere, lying in bed, staring at the ceiling. Sleep eluded me as tears wet my pillow. Unlike my cool, resolute mother, my heart ached. Suddenly, my bedside phone rang, my long uncontacted mother calling. I sat up quickly, steadying myself. "Mom, what's up?" Sophia chuckled. "Don't be sad, you've just encountered trash." I bowed my head, tears spilling. Wasn't I good to him? Beasts lack conscience. Sophia had met Ryan when I brought her to stay at the Shins for a few days, but he disliked outsiders, treating her like air throughout unbeknownst to me, then offering only a greeting, nothing more. After dinner, Sophia left without a word. When I asked why, she smiled. "Lara, keep your eyes open with men." Later, Ryan hugged me, saying, "I don't want your attention on others." Back then, I didn't grasp it. Now, Sophia explained, and suddenly, I felt less sorrow, merely trash discarded, unworthy of regret. Dawn broke outside, my tears long dried. I rose, drank water to refresh, and tidied the house thoroughly, unvisited since living with Ryan. My phone rang again abruptly. I answered without looking, hearing Ryan's lazy voice from a quiet setting. "Where are you?" I paused while hanging clothes, said nothing, and hung up. The phone kept ringing insistently thereafter. I answered again. "Get lost, don't disgust me." Ryan, hurt, replied, "Lara, you dare curse me? Your voice makes me want to vomit last night's meal." Ryan paused, breathing heavily, incredulous. "You're angry?" I wasn't angry, just disillusioned by his callousness. "Lara, don't be upset. That day was an accident. She knew and asked me to act, to make you care more." Yvonne's voice came from beside Ryan. I shut my eyes. "Yvonne, we're no longer friends." Hung up, clutching my chest in irritation, hung the clothes, watched a movie, and fell asleep. Waking again at night, footsteps jolted me awake. I saw Ryan in a suit, impeccably groomed, his handsome face, once my attraction, undeniable. He held cooked instant noodles, smiling. "Lara, you're awake? I just made this." Noodles, his sole culinary skill, once softened me to reconcile. I frowned, repulsed. "Get out, who let you in?" Ryan's breathing faltered. "Lara, why are you still mad?" "It's a misunderstanding." "We're over," I said patiently. Ryan smashed the noodle bowl, splattering the floor and sofa. Fury surged. "I just cleaned today." "Lara, how long will you fuss?" "I've come to you," he said. I sneered inwardly. After I'd sought him countless times, he grew impatient with one visit. I removed my blanket, calmly stating, "I demolished the wedding room and cancelled the wedding. I'm informing you, understood?" Panic flashed across Ryan's face. "What did you say?" I stood, meeting his gaze. "I no longer love you." Ryan's eyes darted, his face pale. "Impossible." "You're still angry." I laughed. "Ryan, why so confident? Someone like you deserves no love." Stunned, fragile, he crumbled. I forced him out, seeing fear on his face for the first time. I changed the house password. Another sight of him would sicken me. I hired a cleaner to scrub the floor anew. I sent him a payment screenshot. He pleaded incessantly, "Don't be mad, please." I blocked him for peace, forwarding it to his mother. "Pay up, your son dirted my floor." Ryan's mother texted quickly, "Lara, stay away from my son, let's part amicably." I wished for that, but her shameless son clung. "Pay now." With fresh $200, I ordered coffee. Too much daytime sleep kept me awake. Infuriated, Ryan's mother received my voice message, "Don't lose it, I'm done with your wretched family." Ryan's ties with the Shins were strained. His mother, who rose through seduction, bore him lovelessly. Ryan's father ignored his own son, their indifference enabling servants to mistreat him. Pity once drove me to overindulge him. Yet Ryan grew willful, acting outlandishly for attention, mending his bond with his mother owed to my efforts. Knowing Ryan craved maternal love, I devised plans, meals and gifts I prepared for him. Now reconciled, they united against me. Ryan's mother always disdained me, deeming me unhelpful to Ryan, who never aided me, believing less contact with her would minimize conflict, blaming my overreaction, allowing her subtle jabs due to his inaction. That night, Yvonne sent me a photo, her atop a suited man, gazing up dazedly in an intimate ambience, as if moments from bed. Ryan's face was hidden, but I recognized him by today's outfit. Irked, I posted it on Facebook. Which slut sent me this cheating evidence? Seconds later, Yvonne called, "Lara. Ryan loves me, let go, he doesn't love you. He said touching you felt like touching himself, only with me did he know a real woman." I laughed, "Oh, congrats on taking my discarded filth." My casual words enraged Yvonne, "So what? Ryan loves me now. Why act so superior? You've always looked down on me, now your man doesn't love you. Are you crying in a corner?" I replied evenly, "Only you'd want a filthy man." Yvonne hung up in fury. With no food at home, I went to the market, only to encounter annoying Ryan. He approached, but I spoke first. "I thought we were done." Ryan paled. "I saw your Facebook, it's not what you think." Staring, I laughed. "Ryan, think this will sway me? Without my care, your roadside weeds." Ryan panicked, voice breaking with tears. "I just wanted your attention, not what you think. I don't love her." I saw through Ryan's ploy. The photo was staged, and he knew Yvonne sent it. He no longer stirred care, only disgust. A former classmate proposed a weekend reunion, inviting me. Arriving, I found Ryan and Yvonne there. Ryan surely tagged along with her. Seeing them, my expression shifted, and I turned to leave. Chair scraping echoed behind me. Ryan caught me, grabbing my hand in panic. "Lara, there's nothing with Yvonne, I don't like her. I came to explain, or I'd never see you again." Others stayed silent as Yvonne's face visibly darkened. She stood. "Ryan, what's this? Didn't you say you liked me?" Ryan's tone hardened. "Shut up. You slut won't ruin me and my fiancé." I laughed. Ryan was performing again. I pried his hand off, mocking. "Ryan, stop acting." Hurt, he insisted. "I'm not acting, I truly love you." Yvonne's chest heaved, tears in her eyes. "Ryan, if you don't love me, why provoke me?" Annoyed, he spat. "You compare to Lara? Clingy trash." His venom nearly toppled her. The organizer, embarrassed, said, "Lara, sit, let's eat and talk." I exhaled. "You know I despise them, why are they here?" He hesitated. "Someone else invited her." Ryan's grim look eased as I sat. Yvonne gripped her chopsticks, sneering. "Lara, what's with your daily haughty act?" I splashed tea in Yvonne's face. She shrieked, "Ah! You dare splash me?" Leaning back, I said, "So what?" Yvonne hadn't expected my blunt confrontation. Forgetting my nature, I'd elevate those I cherished, but ignore the indifferent, even in death before me. Ryan stared, silent for her. Others offered no defense. Provoking as a mistress, she was lucky not to be hit. Yvonne sobbed, "Lara, you can't bully like this." I laughed gleefully, tone subtle. "Is the filthy man useful?" Ryan interjected, "Lara, don't talk like that, okay?" I countered, "Isn't it true?" Embarrassed, Ryan said, "I didn't sleep with her, I don't even like her. I just wanted to provoke you to reconcile." My gaze mocked, "I seek you, then you lord over and humiliate me? Play emperor at home, lacking there, you come here for relevance. Ryan faltered, confirming my point. He'd always relished my distress over us, as if it soothed him. No. I just liked seeing you care. I was tired of such words. I grabbed my bag, stood, and told my classmate, thanks for the invite, but don't include me if Yvonne and Ryan are here. I left the room. Ryan hurried after. Lara, I'll drive you. Ignoring him, I reached the door where my prearranged ride my former friend, now boss, awaited. During my days home, I secured a better job. Ryan, seeing Daniel, froze, insecurity surging. Who's he? Daniel glanced at Ryan, tone nuanced. This your ex? I eyed him, vaguely confirming, yes. Ryan's eyes reddened, voice rising. Lara. You left me for a new guy, right? Irritated, I glared. Don't yell, we're done. Who I'm with now is my choice. Ryan once couldn't stand my male friends, secretly deleting them from my phone, even my dad once, absurdly. My dad called, scolding. I said, Ryan deleted it, old man, silencing him instantly. Get along, don't always fight. See fellow cheaters stick together. Tears welled in Ryan's eyes, pitifully gazing. You'd snap at me for someone else? I nearly retched. Ryan was relentless. Daniel spoke. Miss Lara, let's go, we've got plans. Hearing this, Ryan glared. You're not going. I shot back. Who are you to control me? Ryan watched me bored. Daniel nodded courteously, and through the rear view, I saw Ryan nearly burst with rage. Driving, Daniel asked, this guy made you ditch the US chance? I nodded, yeah. I created an account, posted a concise clarification, ended due to his infidelity, engagement long dissolved. Comments flooded in. I shut off my phone. Daniel asked, regrets? I stared ahead calmly. Who hasn't met a few idiots in youth? He chuckled. My company's busy, you'll have no time for personal drama. I nodded, prepared. Home, I parted with Daniel, started the robot vacuum, and turned on the TV, opening a soda. I sank into the sofa, my empty stomach settled with a sip. Just then, the doorbell rang. I rose patiently. Who's there? Seeing Daniel. Barbecue? He held up bags. I froze, then nodded eagerly. Daniel brought a huge watermelon, split in half. He entered, and one bite revived me entirely. With a boss like you, no regrets this life, I said. Daniel smiled. How hungry are you? You wouldn't get it. Rain fell suddenly, visible through the window. It's open, I'll close it, I said, but Daniel pressed my shoulder, rising. I'll do it. I didn't argue, focusing on barbecue. Later, Daniel called, Ryan's downstairs. My fingers paused. Ignore him. After eating, Daniel left. I didn't keep him alone. Together felt improper. I tidied the table and showered. Lounging comfortably on the sofa, my phone flashed messages. Daniel's read, I've a place downstairs, staying temporarily. I replied, rich folks have it good. Other texts from unknown numbers bore Ryan's tone. I glanced, recognized it, and shut off my phone. Ryan questioned if I was with Daniel, but what business was it of his? Next morning, heading for breakfast, Ryan hugged me from behind, damp and reeking of rain, clearly standing outside all night. Ryan sobbed, Lara, don't abandon me, let's call it even this time, okay? He genuinely knew his error, vowing less caprice if given another chance. I broke free easily, brushing his cold hand. Looking at him, I noticed his flushed face and cracked lips, clearly ill. Ryan, you're feverish, go to a hospital. Crying, Ryan refused. No, I won't, I'll stay by you. Did you sleep with Daniel, huh? Staring at his unhinged state, I couldn't be bothered to argue. He stumbled forward, collapsing toward me. I struggled to hold him, inwardly cursing. Ryan's skin burned alarmingly, clothes soaked from yesterday's downpour. He'd truly stood there all night. I scanned around, planning to lay him down and call an ambulance. Just then, Daniel appeared. I frantically yelled, "Help." He rushed over, supporting Ryan. "What's wrong?" "Probably passed out from fever." Daniel dragged Ryan into the car, driving to the hospital, half conscious. Ryan mumbled my name. Daniel quipped, "Men play drunk, acting till you cry." I burst out laughing. "Why not do stand-up?" Daniel replied, "I might shine brighter in finance." At the hospital, a delay could have damaged Ryan's brain. I texted his mother. Sadly, she doubted Ryan's illness, accusing me of extortion again. The $200 was mine originally, yet she saw it as blackmail truly deplorable. Daniel approached, handing me steamed buns. "Eat something." I looked up. "How'd you know I skipped breakfast?" Staring at my pajamas, Daniel said, "You're not strolling in that." Sitting, I ate. "What a mess, huh? What ex clings like this?" Daniel murmured, "His fault he didn't cherish you." Before I replied, the doctor rushed, "He's awake." I stuffed down more buns, entering the ward, missing Daniel's crestfallen look. As I entered, Ryan yanked out his four. I said coldly, "Don't do pointless things." Tears fell again. I sighed, "Your tears can be tiresome." Ryan froze, bewildered. "Sorry." "Stop pestering me, we're long over. Handle the online mess yourself, I'm out." Thinking I'd clarified, Ryan flung off the blanket, fell from bed, kneeling. "I beg you, don't abandon me." "Sorry, can you forgive me this time?" "I won't mess up again, I was wrong." I gazed coldly, smiling. "We're truly done, I won't tolerate stains. You can act out, but not cheat. Lose me, and it's forever." Ryan paled, collapsing in sobs. "Then don't be with Daniel, okay?" I paused. "Daniel?" Unsure why he linked us, I dismissed it. "You don't control me." I turned to leave, his wails echoing. I never knew Ryan cried so much. Irrelevant now, but I left my account for hospital bills. Leaving the hospital, I reached for leftover buns. Daniel stopped me. "They're cold, let's get something else later." I shook my head. "No big deal, my stomach's tough," and finished them quickly. Gripping the wheel, Daniel glanced. "Ryan, you're done with him?" I nodded, "Yeah." "More fuss benefits no one." Daniel asked, "What's your next step?" "Nothing special, just work as usual." Containing excitement, Daniel said, "Lara, actually I smiled, realizing why Ryan paired us. "Didn't you say the company's busy, no time for personal stuff?" Daniel visibly deflated. I added, "I think it's fine." He knew I'd rejected him, smiling bitterly. "You still talk like before." I can't leap into new love right after losing one, and I don't like Daniel liking him would have happened earlier. He's not my rebound, I hope Daniel gets that. We're just friends, nothing more. My life stabilized as I started work formally. My new company felt right, I could stay long term. By the second year, I got promoted, transferred overseas, the chance I'd forsaken for Ryan, now fulfilled through work. Thrilled about the transfer, my boss treated the department to dinner. Coincidentally, I saw Yvonne after ages, being slapped and hair pulled. Spotting me from afar, I smirked. Venom nearly spilled from Yvonne's eyes. A middle-aged woman I knew from work circles struck her, "Slut. Daring to seduce my husband." Stunned, I realized her husband was nearly 50. Ryan must have ditched her. I watched her disgrace briefly until her face swelled, then left knowing her fragile pride would torment her more. Sure enough, Yvonne's mistress scandal spread widely, gaining infamy. Some mentioned me, calling me blind in friendships I agreed, having pitted and aided her before. Now she willingly played mistress, later openly envying me. I saw nothing enviable. My cheating, exploitative father brought me endless misfortune. Scrolling, I stumbled on a photo of villa identical to our old wedding house. The phone rang, an unknown number. Hesitating, I answered, "Lara." Ryan's voice, sounding frail. Sorry, I rebuilt the wedding house exactly the same. I responded flatly, noted, but it's not my concern. As he tried to speak, I cut in, nothing else, I'm hanging up. Just then, Ryan's voice rose, don't hang up, please, I bought back the piano, everything, identical. Near hysteria, Ryan bored me. What use was identical? We couldn't return. Stop it, don't be so annoying, it's repulsive, I said, hanging up as he froze. Tossing my phone aside, I packed. At the airport, Ryan's mother called. Ryan attempted suicide. Glancing at boarding time, I replied, he tries suicide, go to a hospital, why me? This time, I wouldn't soften, all hindrances were trash. She accused, how heartless. Weren't the shins the coldest, letting servants abuse Ryan on their turf? Lunatics. Inhaling deeply, I cursed her lineage, her dear husband, asking if she'd seduce another after his death for a new child. She gasped, nearly fainting. Slut, don't cross me. I'm no stranger to cursing, fearless at it, she backed off. I'd respected her for Ryan before, not now, we're equals, why yield? I landed safely in the US, company staff drove me to a rented apartment, modest, perfect for one. Daniel texted, Ryan's stomach was pumped, he's fine, I sent an okay emoji. Opening the window, dusk fell, a homeless man played guitar below. I listened, chin propped, calling, one more? He smiled, switching to a lively tune. I gave a few dollars. He thanked me repeatedly. He handed me a signed photo, claiming global fame awaited. He shared his tale, years of wandering, living off aid, housing meant no food. Thus, he roamed, sleeping anywhere unclaimed and undisturbed. Parting, I blessed him, you'll make it, musician. In the future, dream chasers will succeed, I will, and so will you.